Hello, you gorgeously beautiful people. How are you all doing? Huh? Ah, that's great. Bloody awesome times. And yeah, I'm doing really well as well. Thank you for asking. Coping with this lockdown shenanigans, absolutely fine. No worries. What are we on now, like week 5? It feels like it should be at least week 5. And this week was actually a massive one for the channel because we hit 250,000 subscribers. So a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed, whether you're fresh and new, you've been with me from the start. It's absolutely incredible that so many of you really intelligent people want to watch a slaphead with a wonky accent bang on about shiny stuff. Fantastic times. What a world we live in. Absolutely love and adore you guys. And of course, as an extra special treat, here is a triple dose of that jingle. Hit it. Tech Spurt Weekly. Tech Spurt Weekly. Tech Spurt Weekly. So let's start, of course, naturally with the phone that gets more love here on Tech Spurt Weekly than a box of donuts at a fat kids camp. I am, of course, talking about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Now, despite us all originally hoping that it would finally get its arse into stores worldwide around sort of early May time, we've had confirmation online from a Japanese carrier that it won't be stocked there until very late May at the very earliest, which means it'll probably get a more global release, probably early to mid-June. In other words, at least another 6 weeks of me banging on about it here at Tech Spurt Weekly. Hooray! But of course, as well, you know, the weeks are absolutely pissing by here in total lockdown, so it'll be here before you know it, or at least hopefully before another family member slits our throats in our sleep. Oh, and I apologise if things get a little bit bleak this morning. I just watched The Platform last night before getting all tucked up with Teddy. That was a bad idea. Great movie, knew it would be a tough watch, but Jesus Christ, does that one just make you want to put a shotgun in your mouth and end it all? Anyway, on to tech news, and this week, of course, the big launch was Motorola's Edge and Edge Plus. The Edge seems like a solid Nokia 8.3 5G rival, offering all kinds of great specs, including a bit of 5G support for around a £550 price point here in the UK. You also get the super sexy Plus model to take on the likes of the OnePlus 8 Pro, complete with a 108 megapixel rear camera and Snapdragon 865 Smart. Unfortunately, no sign of it coming to the UK though. Wow. I've done a full roundup of all of the Edge and Edge Plus news, so go check that out for all you need to know. And as usual, of course, this week Motorola has been keeping me well and truly busy because they didn't just launch those 2 new flagship phones, but they've also sent me 3 new budget-friendly smartphones in the mail. Hooray! Seriously guys, maybe think about putting away the crack pipe and just calming the down, alright? Maybe do some yoga or run a hot bath or something. Just chill for a couple of weeks and maybe don't launch or release any new smartphones. I know it may seem at times like Tech Spurt is put together by a highly skilled professional team or something, but surprise, it's just baldy here, so please slow the fuck down before my head explodes. Anyway, now we've got the 2 cheapest members of the G8 family, the bog standard G8, which costs 180 quid, and the even cheaper £150 G8 Power Lite, which is basically the specs refresh of last year's G7 Power than I originally expected the original G8 Power to actually be. I've already done you a full unboxing of the Moto G8 and the Moto G8 Power Lite, so go check those out for all you need to know, and I'm planning a mega Moto G8 family comparison for hopefully early next week to show you what the difference between all of these and the G8 Plus, the G8 Power and all the others actually is. And if I haven't completely lost the will to live, then I'll bring some full reviews of those budget bros right at your face as well. And now it's time for the part of the show that's about as much fun as inhaling wasabi through your nostrils while also beating your genitals with a claw hammer. It's viewer comments. Whoop whoop. Viewer comments. So Lauren starts us off this week. She says, Chris, how much do you spend on your haircuts? You look gorgeous, darling. I'm going to take that as either straight up sarcasm or full-on delusion brought on by the lockdown, but either way, thanks. Next up, honestly, I'm interested in the SE, as in the iPhone SE 2020. It's one of the few, if not the only phones in the last year or two that's under 5 inches. It's perfect for me with my small hands. Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got those big chunky bezels, but those aside, it will be one of the only compact smartphones of 2020. Real shame that that shiz has died out. And yeah, maybe old Apple design, but frankly, the new Apple design ain't exactly that much of an evolution. At least you don't have the big thick mustache notch up top on the iPhone SE 2020, so that's great. And I'd actually rather have the physical fingerprint sensor as well, rather than fully relying on stupid Face ID. Next up, Rice Guardian says, I'm considering the Nokia 8.3 5G or the OnePlus 8 as my next phone. Which one shall I get? Well, I really like the OnePlus 8. It's a perfectly solid smartphone at a good price. As long as you don't want the best camera tech around. There's a few areas where it sort of stumbles a bit. Go check out my full review if you want to know more on that. Obviously, I haven't fully reviewed the Nokia 8.3 5G. I haven't even touched the thing yet, so I can't comment on how good the camera is, how good the battery life is, and so on and so forth. It does have a step down in terms of the chipset. It's a 700 series instead of 800, but still it should be absolutely fine for all your gaming needs and everything, future-proofed with the 5G, and it'll be a bit cheaper as well. Now, I've got quite a few peeps asking me about the Red Magic 5G gaming phone, whether I'm going to get that in for review. I've definitely requested one, so hopefully one should be coming in soon. Nothing from those fellas yet, but I am going to be getting the Black Shark 3 in from Xiaomi, another dedicated gaming smartphone. Packs the Snapdragon 865, full 5G support, 90Hz display, all the good stuff, so hopefully should give you a full unboxing of that in a couple of days time. Matt Dean says, you're looking rougher and rougher the more the lockdown goes on. I'm getting worried about you, Chris. Maybe you need to lay off the tech or the booze, or maybe both. Oh, Jesus Christ, mate, lay off the compliments already. Frankly, I think we need booze now more than ever before. It's like these people who do dry January. Why would you do yourself that dishonor in January? It's the most miserable month of the year. If there's ever a time to drink, it's definitely January. And right now. And I would lay off the tech, except, you know, Motorola happened. Next up, Sean says, mate, I love your channel, not to mention your accent is great. Where are you from? I'm British too, but I've never heard your accent anywhere else. Hello, fellow Brits. Yeah, that's because I originally lived in the northeast in sunny Sunderland, and then close to 2 decades ago, I've moved down south. So now I've got a kind of a southernized, posho version of a northeast accent. So southerners think I sound like a northern twat. Northerners think I sound like a southern ponce. I really can't win. I'm just kind of a nothing really. Daniel says, are you going to do anything on tablets like the top 5 budget ones? To be honest, I'm not even sure there's 5 to choose from these days. If you want a budget tablet, then basically Amazon Fire is the way to go. I've got full unboxings of like the Fire HDs and everything here on the channel, so go check those out. They're only really good though if you sort of buy into the whole Amazon ecosystem. So for instance, you're an Amazon Prime Video user, because they do heavily advertise all of their services on there, as you'd expect. Dale says, hi Chris, hope you're well. Is there any chance you could provide a video where you recommend phone games for people to play whilst in lockdown? There's only so much FIFA I can handle. I know how you feel, sir. I was just going through the list of what I've got here. Football Manager 2020, if you're into your footy and you basically never want to put your smartphone down, that thing is addictive, man. But yeah, now does have VAR. It is a highly realistic implementation of VAR as well, because it'll piss you off something rotten. I'm also a big fan of puzzle games, so if you want something like that to keep the old noggin ticking over, games like The Room, of course, House of Da Vinci is a good one. Agent A I quite liked, quite a nice light, but still fairly smart sort of puzzle adventure effort. And Tiny Room Stories Tower Mystery, which I think are covered in the best Android games of 2019 roundup. Go check that out actually for some more ideas. There's kind of a showcase of some of the best Android indie titles. Has some really good stuff in there. If I remember, I'll put one of those link jobbies up here above my head somewhere, so you can just click on that and go check it out. But full disclosure, I'll probably be half cut when I'm editing this, so good luck with that. And Baz Anime says, Akamega Kill is great. Have you finished it? Not quite. I've got 2 episodes left, I think 2 or 3 episodes. Man, is that show hard. You think the platform is bleak? Jesus Christ. I mean, this is like a happy-go-lucky anime show, apart from when just misery and tragedy descends. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it. Definitely go check it out. It's a great show. But yeah, you pop a couple of Vikings in after that one. So that's all we've got time for this week. Big thanks to everyone who commented last week. Really appreciate it. Definitely slap your thoughts, questions, whatever you fancy down below, and we'll trudge through that next week. And speaking of next week, not much in the calendar. Hopefully it'll have the Black Shark 3 action for you guys, so full unboxing. I'm planning on smashing through a whole bunch of PUBG on that as well. So basically I'm going to spend the week getting schooled by 13-year-olds who already spent far too much time on that game, and now are spending 22 hours a day on it basically because they don't have to go to school. Hooray! Little but that's basically it. Unless I've missed anything off the calendar, it doesn't look like there are any big launches next week, so just basically more of the same. Alright, please do join me next Friday for more of this, whatever this is, and have yourselves a lovely weekend, people. Stay safe, stay drunk, preferably, is the way I'm doing it, and see you next week. Cheers, love you!